finishing moving things around real quick. Alright, good morning everybody. Today we're going to be making gluten-free biscuits, which is super exciting. I've not really done much gluten-free baking before, so this will be interesting. How is everybody this morning? Doing good? All right. Yeah. All right. Well, it's 9 a.m. It's lovely. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Tuesday. Yeah. So, posted up the biscuit recipe yesterday online, but here's our visual. Well, you can see the reflection in my windows. But not a lot of ingredients for today. Oh, you can hear my bird in the background. But yeah, so let's get started. So, this recipe supposedly makes 9 biscuits, but we'll see. I like my biscuits pretty large so that I can make like a breakfast sandwich out of it. So I might do like 4 or 5. But we'll see. Yeah, so, okay. So biscuits. That's definitely something that's fun to make. They're pretty easy to make too. So I don't think gluten-free biscuits will be any more difficult. So I'm actually going to switch to a different camera angle, courtesy of the cat is alive. She let me borrow a little camera from her. Let's see here. Just so I can show you. Yeah, there we go. So I can show you, you can measure stuff out together and you can kind of see the process. So kind of tools of the trade of what we're going to be using is 1 large bowl, and we will be using our gluten-free baking flour. That I just got this at the grocery store. That it's kind of the best baking flour for gluten-free things that I've heard of. Then we're going to measure out 2 cups and 1/4 of a cup of our gluten-free baking flour. Definitely want to make sure we're smoothing things out. That's 1 cup. And that's 2. And then we need 1/4 cup of the baking flour on top of that. Yeah, all right. And then our next bit, we're going to set our baking flour aside for now. And we'll be using our white sugar. And then we just need 2 tablespoons of that. 1 and 2. Alright, our next one we're going to be doing is baking powder. Let me find a camera angle there. It's kind of odd just seeing my hands. But I definitely am very thankful to the cat is alive for loaning me an extra little camera. That way, you know, I can show what I'm doing with baking and that it will make things a lot easier. Alright, so baking powder, we're going to do 1 tablespoon. And just pop that right on in. And that's all the baking powder we'll need. Next is baking soda. And that's 1 teaspoon. So it's actually 1/3 of a tablespoon, if anybody was curious. That I believe it's 3 teaspoons makes a tablespoon. So that is, and then we will do 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. Just pop that right on in. Alright, so this is all of our dries, and we'll just give that a mix. That way everything is together, and we won't have any lumps of our leavening agents, or we won't have any lumps of large flour bits in there. So there's that, and we'll just set that aside for now. You really hear my bird back there. Then we want to preheat our oven to 400 degrees. But if you are baking in... Oh, hi, James. How are you this morning? But if you're baking at a higher altitude, then you will want to reduce that down to 375. And then I have my pan prepped already with a silicone pad. But the next step would be to lay down some parchment or a silpat on your baking sheet. Then the next step will be to cut up our butter. And butter for biscuits, you want it to be very, very cold, because what really makes biscuits delicious is if you have little lumps of cold butter in your dough, then it will help make it more like flaky and delicious and chewy, instead of it just melting right into the dough and making it more of like a hard, crispy puck. So the butter you want to be very, very cold, and if you're able to, once we have it cubed and cut up how we want, put it in the freezer for a bit, which is what I will do, because that's just how I've made biscuits in the past, is that I'll prep out my butter and then I will put it in the freezer. That way it's super, super cold, and that's just like the benefit of it. So you want 6 tablespoons of butter. So 1 stick is 8 tablespoons, so you'll cut off 2 tablespoons and just set it aside. Then what you want to do is cut up your butter into cubes, but not too small, because we will be putting the butter in the biscuits. Let me think about my words there. We'll be putting the butter in the biscuit dough, in the dries, and we will be combining them in a bit. I'm really struggling with my words this morning. Words are hard, you guys. But it's Tuesday. But yeah, so we'll cube up our butter and then put it in the freezer. That way it gets a little more firm. My butter is a little warm today. It sat out for a bit before I went live, so I'll just put that in the freezer. Alright, so we're done with that, so we will set that aside. Then, so then our next ingredient is a cup of yogurt. And this is actually a little less than what I need, so I need to go grab another yogurt. But you'll actually want 8 ounces of yogurt. Just switch back. Hi! Oh no! There I am. Oh, sorry. Bit of difficulties with my figuring out my cameras. That's okay, I'll figure it out. Oh, but not really doing much. That's too important right now. I'm just going to be measuring out my 1 cup of yogurt. If you want to do like plain yogurt, then that's fine. I think if you can get... Thank you. I'm very new to all this computer stuff. Yeah, camera transitions, and the stand is treating me great. I've got it actually set up on my my countertop fruit basket. That way I could get it high enough to see more of the counter. So I'm kind of jerry-rigging things right now. But you know, whatever works, works. So I just needed a little extra yogurt. How is everybody's Tuesday going? Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, you just kind of use what you've got. I've got my laptop actually sitting on a box, and then on top of the box is a pot. And so that it's sitting at a fairly good angle. That way it's like I'm almost eye level with the camera. So, you know, you just kind of do what you gotta do. So I'm just gonna set that aside. Take a sip of coffee. Oh. This mug, what's Yeah, I get that. I have the same issue with my other friends when they're on stream that I almost forget that we're not in the same room. Like last night when Kat was streaming, you know, where everybody was just kind of talking about, you know, their mental health and how we're all kind of dealing with this new situation with the pandemic and having to stay home and a lot more. And like her stream is very much a mental health safe space, which is really great. And I found myself like talking to my computer, almost like, yeah, you know, it's just like this and da 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 da. And I'm like, wait, no, I need to type that out if she's gonna know what I'm saying. But this past week I had to fix this mug that I dropped a skillet onto it because it was in the sink and I didn't realize it was there when I put a hot cast iron skillet in the sink to cool off, and I busted. I don't know if you can see it, but like I busted this whole piece here, you know, like 6 pieces. So I had to super glue it back together, and I just keep looking at the cracks because I'm super nervous that if I have liquid that's like at the level of the cracks, then it's just going to like fall out. So if I keep looking at my mug, it's because I'm like subconsciously nervous that the cracks are gonna weaken and I'm gonna have coffee spilling all over the counter. So that'll be super fun. But I got this mug at the Minnesota Renaissance Fair, and last year? Yeah, last summer. So I'll have to get a new one, and I might chuck this one, or I don't know. It's working, but who knows? Oh. But anything new going on this week for anybody? I'm just closing up my bag of flour. So there's not much new really going on. You know, working on some crocheting projects. I'm actually working on crocheting my cat a new pillow, or at least like a pillowcase, because the pillow that he slept on, it's one of those like fleece tie pillows, and it's at the end of its rope. My cat does approve. I've got it right here. Yeah, Gordon pillow. This is what I'm working on now. I've got it right here to work on. There it is. I think I'm about 2/3 of the way done. I want it to be like a little bit bigger, but every time I work on it, and I'm sitting down, Gordon will try and lay on my lap, and he tries to get all over it. But I'm really happy with it so far. That it's made out of this like ombre-like yarn that I've had for forever, that I've just never been able to decide what I want to do with it, because it's not enough for like a blanket or like a shawl, but it is enough for, I guess, a large pillow. Yeah, so, well, our oven's almost there. I want the oven to get really close to preheating by the time that we start mixing our dough, just because I don't want the butter to warm up more than it has to. Like I was saying before, with biscuits, you want the butter to stay as cold as possible while you're mixing it. That way it doesn't melt while you're baking it. That if you have cold butter and you put it in a hot oven while the dough bakes, it will actually steam and puff up whatever you're baking. And if the butter was too warm, then the butter would actually melt and just fall right out of whatever you're making, and then it just won't have the right texture. And that's actually the secret to laminated doughs too, like croissants or danishes or puff pastry, that you want the butter to be very, very cold when you bake it, so that it will steam and puff up those thin layers of dough, so that you get really nice layers, very visual layers when you cut into it, and that it just makes it super delicious. That laminated doughs are really hard, but you know, if you're patient and you're willing to, wait and let things like take its course, then you'll have a delicious product. That I love making laminated doughs, and I think, eventually. You should have eaten breakfast. But even if you wanted to bake along with me, I have my social medias up here in the corner. That if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, I post my recipes that I will be streaming the day before. That way, if you wanted to bake along or cook along, I will be doing some savory recipes coming up that you definitely can. And then you'll have breakfast right along with me. Oh, thank you. I try. I try hard to be a delicious product. I like to jokingly say it's the diabetes that makes me super sweet, but that's not true. Just get some coffee there. Okay, so our oven's at 395, so that'll be a good time to actually start mixing. One of the fun products for, tools, there it is, One of the fun tools for biscuit making is actually this here, that it's called a pastry cutter. And it's this one, it's just a handle with some metal wire that's connected. That way, you know, I'm able to really mix in, or I'm able to not crush, but gently smush the butter around so that it does start to mix in with our dries, but it won't be overmixed like if I put it in my mixer. So this is our secret here. So let me just go get the butter. But if you don't have a pastry cutter, then that's fine. It's not completely necessary. It makes things easier when you're making biscuits or a biscuit type dough, but it's not absolutely necessary. You can use a fork, or you could use your hands, or you could use a large whisk to just kind of gently mash it around, but it's not absolutely necessary. So I'm going to switch camera angles again. There we are. Just so I can show you guys what we're talking about here. So I've got our 6 tablespoons of butter in with all of our dries. Then, just going back into here. And then you'll just kind of like gently work it around, because you will start to see that the pastry cutter will catch the butter and it will gently press it through. That way you end up with smaller pieces of butter, but they're not completely smushed and mixed into the dries. So we will just work this around for now. Just kind of gently pushing the butter back out of our wires. So I'm not sure where everybody else is in the country or the world, but okay, so do you notice any differences with your gluten-free recipe versus regular biscuits? Well, yes and no. That the gluten-free biscuits tend to not spread or get as tall as like a regular flour biscuit. And that really has to do with the fact that gluten is it's a very stretchy protein, and it does, oh wow, okay, so it's raining. Well, that rain used to be snow, because I'm up here in Minnesota, and we got about 3-4 inches of snow. It's slowly starting to melt off. But, okay, so back to biscuits. Yeah, a gluten-based recipe for biscuits definitely rises and spreads a little bit more because it has that elasticity of the gluten proteins to be able to puff up a little bit more and to like expand a bit. So I do expect these biscuits to stay pretty close to the size that they are, but that's why in a gluten-free recipe that you use a little bit more leavening agents, because the leavening agents will cause that chemical bubbling reaction to make up for that lack of gluten stretch, that it will cause them to puff up in a good way, but it just won't be because of the same reaction as like a regular biscuit. Let me just find my camera angle again here. So another way that you could mix it if you don't have a pastry cutter is you just take a couple of handfuls and you just kind of do this, because you'll cause the butter to flake in the dough, which will kind of help with the same reaction. So you'll just kind of take a little bit, and then with your palms like this, you'll just kind of pull it across your fingers. That way you are able to make the butter a little bit smaller. And this is actually how, if you do make large batches of doughs or things that need the butter to be small pieces but not completely mixed in, this is a really good way of checking if the butter lumps you have are too big, that you'll be able to feel it with your hands, and if there are any large lumps, you're able to make them a lot smaller with your hands. Are you guys hearing the music okay? I've got some just chill lo-fi beats going on in the background, just on a speaker over here by me. But if it's a little loud, I can turn it down, but if it's low, then I can turn it a bit up. Ooh, I lost a bit. So then there's that. Alright, so then our next bit will actually be to... Oh, you can't hear it? Let me turn it up a bit then. How's that? Well, I have my 1 cup of yogurt. Oh, that's good now? Cool. Wait. Cool. Gotcha. So with the biscuit dough, really just making sure that there's no large lumps of butter. The optimal size for butter lumps is the size of peas. So if you do have any really large butter lumps, then, you know, just kind of squish those up. But, so we will make a well in our dries, and we will just scoop our cup of yogurt right on in. And then we'll just kind of gently fold it for now, cutting through the liquids. Whoop! I should have gotten a bigger bowl, but that's okay. Ooh. I'm just going to mix this with my hands, because that's how I operate. Is you'll just kind of use your fingers to stir around the moisture. And you might need, yeah, the never-ending industry dilemma. Yeah. That I think I'll need a little bit more yogurt, but, you know, I'm just really going to make sure that I do need more, because we will kind of knead this together a bit. Yeah, because it's clumping when I'm bringing it together, but it's still really dry when I press on it. Will this container be big enough? That is the million-dollar question. So I do have a little extra yogurt that I will use. Otherwise, I could use some milk. And I think I might grab some milk, because what yogurt I have left is not really enough. So I'm just going to go grab the milk real quick. And then adding in liquids, you want to start with just a tablespoon or 2, because we are adding in liquids to something that we want to stay fairly dry. Every Tuesday morning? No, I haven't really decided on a schedule. I'm still very, very new, but I am hoping to do probably at least 2 streams a week, maybe 3 if I do have the time. And just because since I'm home all day, every day, I'll probably be streaming a little bit more often for, you know, compared to when I'm going to go back to work. So this dough, it's starting to come together because it's starting to stick to my fingers. But, you know, it's just kind of worked out that I've done Tuesday mornings. Oh, hi, Gordon. I have a kitty cat visitor. Hi, I'm busy right now. I can't hang out with you, I'm sorry. Oh, this cat. Just add a little bit more. Because we want to be able to knead this together on the table, just because since this is a gluten-free recipe, we will knead it a little bit. Because it does need that little extra help since it doesn't have gluten proteins to help. Yeah, so I think this is a pretty good spot that you can really see that it's starting to come together. Like if I went like this, then, you know, it stays and it doesn't like fall together. Chat says hi, Gordon. Oh, he's you can't see him now, but he's sitting at his spot on the table where we have his food bowl, because it definitely helps. And he's just laying there staring at me like, hey, can I get some food, please? All right, so then I'm just gonna turn this out onto the table. I'm gonna shut my bowl aside and just kind of like press everything together. Getting any dries that were at the bottom. And you can't really see it very well, but there are some visual lumps of butter in the dough, which is good, which is what we want. We want to be able to see that we have lumps of butter in there that will puff up and bake really nicely. Oops, sorry, I'm shaking the camera a bit. So this is our dough. That now we're just kind of evening up everything. Bring it, there we go. You want to press it. I have been tempted to make one giant biscuit. I've been very tempted. Yeah, so I've got this at about 3/4 of an inch thick. Probably closer to an inch. I don't know. I don't have a ruler with me right here to really measure the thickness. But got it pretty even, and then we're going to press out our biscuits. Trying to find my biscuit cutter. I think they're still in a box. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use a cup. I'm going to use a largemouth glass. Just biscuit. Ooh, suction cup. Okay. It's really sticking to the cup. Oh. But that's okay. So then we'll just gently take our leftover dough and press it back together. I think I might have enough for one more super huge biscuit. Just like pop a biscuit. And then we'll just have like 5, and then a baby biscuit. All right. Well, that's most of our things done. I will arrange them on our tray. I'm actually going to brush them with an egg wash. Yeah, about a half dozen. There's a few that are a little thicker than the others. But I'm going to brush our biscuits with an egg wash, which is just egg yolks and some cream and a little water. And just kind of like there's the angle. Brush the tops. This will give them like a really nice, shiny, biscuity top. I'm going to sprinkle tops with a little salt. Hi. Hi. Oh, thank you for that host, Cat. That's so nice of you. Then I'm going to do a little black pepper on there too. Because that sounds really good. Pre-seasoned biscuits. Yeah. Kitty's waiting for some biscuits. So then now, they're going to go in our preheated 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes. Let me switch my camera angle here. Oh, hi! So then, we'll do 15. I'm going to set it for 12 actually for that one tiny biscuit. Because that smaller biscuit will be done before the others. Alright, so my counter is a mess. So I'm going to set my dishes aside and then we'll just kind of hang out and wait for biscuits. We're just chilling out. Making biscuits, having breakfast. Oh, I forgot to put on my apron. I have this really cute apron. It's like a Minnie Mouse apron. I got it at Disney World. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the biscuits. I think I might fry an egg and make some bacon and have like a breakfast sandwich because that sounds really good. Because all I've had this morning is a donut, and that's not a great breakfast. I'll be honest. Get rid of this dirty cup. Wipe up the counter. Egg, pepper jack, cheese, and jelly? Girl, what kind of sandwiches are you eating? Being quarantined has not done well if that's what you've been eating every day. Wait, what kind of jelly? I will knock it, and I will not try it. That sounds gross. Strawberry? I need to get some strawberry jelly. I don't have any. I thought I grabbed some last time I went to the store, but turns out I grabbed raspberry jam. I'm like, it's okay, but I want strawberry. You're gonna make me one of those sandwiches and like sneak it to me. I'll say, oh my god, this is delicious. You're gonna go, ha, I gotcha. Because you're sneaky. Strawberry rhubarb jelly. That sounds really tasty. Apple butter on bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. That sounds good because I really love apple butter. I need to make some. But, you know, apple season isn't until the fall. I didn't go apple picking this past fall, which I'm kind of mad about because usually I go and I'll get a whole bunch of apples and I'll make cider. With chives, yeah. Yeah. That does sound good. Oh man. I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna write that weird sandwich suggestion down. Alright, so Mariah, I know that's you, so that's such a weird sandwich combo. Bacon, egg, cheese, strawberry jelly. Gross. But, hey, I mean, that's okay. Oh, it's fine. I can't spell at all. I can't read. I'm just kidding. I can't read. My name's Jared. I'm 19 years old and I never learned how to effing read. Oh man. I've been watching a lot of Vine compilations lately to keep me laughing and in a positive mood. And they've really helped. But some of those Vines are super bizarre. But I love it. I love it so much. I miss Vine. Cat, if you're lurking, let me know if you miss Vine too. Vine was gold. It was great. What's everybody's favorite Vines? So I like the little girl who standing in front of like that field full of geese. You know, and she's like, look at all those chickens! That was a good one. Yeah, chickens. Pro ZD. Oh, what are some of the Vines that Pro ZD has done? Well, look him up real quick. Yeah, I can't recall. Okay, sure. Oh, okay, yes, I know that guy. He's the, yes. Oh, chilling in a hot tub? That's a good one. But yeah, I know who Pro ZD is. He's cool. He's really funny. I like the ones where he talks about or makes fun of dialogue options in video games. Those ones are always solid. It really is hard to pick. That should be like, I guess eventually I'd like to start my own Discord, but probably have like a Vine sharing room. Like just share your favorite vines. You're like just dropping in a meme, typing in at everyone, and then just leaving, which is what I do in some of my other Discords that I'm a part of. Is I'll find some really funny or not cringy, but kind of like, you know, those cursed images type memes. Like peanut butter cups. That's a classic. It's like a peanut butter cup, like a Reese's peanut butter cup that is cut open and it's filled with baked beans. I'll drop that in a chat. I'll type at everyone and then I'll just leave. There's yeah, you just type in like peanut butter cup instead of peanut butter. It's with a B. It's good. I am awful. I am. It's great. Yes, I do follow that subreddit, and it's great. Another good subreddit is r/WeWantPlates, which is one my boss Travis showed us. That it's it's a subreddit. My pump is yelling at me, but it's a subreddit that's all about restaurants and food that have been set on items that are not regular serveware. Like the one I think about the most is like prosciutto and like a charcuterie board that all the meat is hung up on like this tiny little miniature clothesline with like little clothespins. So it's like meat laundry. And it's so awful, and it makes me so angry. As like a culinary professional, I get so mad about it. But it's hilarious. Yes, some of those do bring tears. Like fish and chips served in like a tiny wheelbarrow. It's like, it makes no sense. It's a wheelbarrow. Or a full English breakfast served on the head of a shovel. Yes, definitely. Share the shitty food porn so that we can see it. Oh, it's gonna be great. I've got a chat open on my phone, so I'll check it out through there. But I'm just gonna check the biscuits. They've got 2 minutes left. They're doing good, but I am gonna add more time. They are puffing up. They're puffing up fairly well, it looks like, but the tops look still look very wet and unbaked. So I'm gonna add a bit more time because we want those to look delicious and golden brown on top. Food coloring to a box of mac and cheese. Oh, wow. What? Oh, that's really messing with my mind. I keep thinking that green beans. Oh, I hate that. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, James. Yikes. Yeah, I can imagine that's the top comment. Like, this isn't green beans. Those are green beans now. You should... oh, poor Mariah. Oh, there's a robin outside the window. Aw, the fat little bird. So cute. Is that all you regret? Well, if we listed off everything everybody regretted, we would be here all day. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Oh man. Yeah. Reddit can be such a great place. I think another good one on We Want Plates is like a quenelle of, I guess, like a chocolate mousse or like an ice cream served on a squished soda can. And it's squished in a way so that there's like those sharp edges where the can has like folded. So it almost feels like if you went at it the wrong way, you could like cut yourself on what your dessert is plated on. And that one made me the most mad. Immediately scrolling past it, I'm like, what is this? A can? My God. Oh, goodness. Oh, well, I've got a good list of some different recipes out that I wanted to do this week. I want to do at least 2 more. Oh, you mean English muffin and 2 fried eggs. Ooh, that sounds good. That's kind of close to what I'm going to be making. So, let's see. I've got some more vegan recipes. I've got some more gluten-free recipes. I've got regular recipes. Or I guess not regular, but not dietary restricted recipes, I guess, if that's the proper way to say it, without sounding like things are too different. Oh, you're fine. No sweat. The biscuits are going great. They've got about 2 minutes left. I'll peek at them now. I'll peek at them now to give you an accurate... Oh, they're puffing up really well. They look really delicious. Yes, I had some good top-down camera action. I've got a camera right here. You can kind of see a bit of it. That I set up that extra webcam that you loaned me. And I've got it. I'm gonna show you the tricks of my trade, but I've got it set up on my basket so that I could get like a good top-down look. So I kind of feel a bit goofy, but that's okay. I am goofy, so that's fine. Oh, Christmas cookies. That sounds fun. Yeah. But hey, everything's going really great so far. Oh, there's the end of that timer. I'll check those. I want them to be a bit darker because they look like they're really close. So I'll give them 4 more minutes. I want them to be really nice and golden brown on top. Oh, thanks. Oh, that's alright. I mean, the house is still a work in progress. I've got tons of paint stuff kind of everywhere. Alex and I finally got our master bedroom pretty much done and painted. So we were able to move our bed from my craft room into our bedroom. Oh, here it comes. Adding jelly to our biscuit sandwiches. That's the topic of the day. Talking about bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit sandwiches with jelly. I vote no. No. I think I would try it if it were like a savory jelly, like a chutney of some sort, or even like a jalapeno jelly or like a tomato jelly, like sun-dried tomato jelly. I would try that on there, but yeah, like sweet jalapeno, that could be good. But I don't think I'm not gonna put strawberry jam on I'm not gonna put strawberry jam on a biscuit sandwich. that just sounds nasty. Well, not nasty, but not good. Yeah, the pepper jack cheese would be good. Sweet and spice. Yeah. But so for the rest of the week, I want to do at least 2 more baking streams. I'm wanting to do a vegan recipe and then just kind of a basic baking recipe. I'm thinking of doing angel food cake for the regular recipe, not looking for like a gluten-free or a vegan version. Yes, I figured you'd be excited for angel food cake. I tested it last week, and I made like a half batch size angel food cake, and I should have baked it in my my angel food cake pan, but I baked it in like a regular cake pan, and it didn't work out right. So I ended up having to toss it. But I think, I think just doing it regular in its own pan would be the way to go. Should not mess with perfection, I suppose, because angel food cake seems like one of those things that if you get it right, then it's perfect every time. Then, I can see a cardinal outside. Oh, cute. I just see like this little red bird in the trees. But I think for a Maple Street Biscuit Company. Okay. I think I would try apple butter. Mainly because it's not as sweet as jam, and I think I would try apple butter. If I had some apple butter with me, I would put it on a sandwich. Oh yeah, the Blue Jays. I bet they look super bright. Woo! There's my second timer. Let's check this out. Remember, if you're going in the oven, you need a glove. Oh, they're getting close. Okay. I'm just going to turn this tray around. Probably give it like another minute or so. The ones in the back are a little more golden than the ones in the front, so I gave the tray a turn, and we're just going to let those even up a bit, but they look really good. I'm very excited to show one. Ooh. But then I think I might do 3 more streams this week because I have a 2-part recipe for vegan meringue cookies that uses aquafaba, which is the liquid from chickpeas. So I'm going to have to buy some chickpeas, cans of chickpeas for the liquid for the meringues, but then the next day I'll use the chickpeas in a vegan chickpea chipotle taco bake, which will be like enchiladas almost, with like a good guacamole and chickpeas and beans inside with, I'll have to find some vegan shredded cheese. My local grocery store, the one that's closest to me, doesn't really have much in the way of vegan food, but, I can go up the street to the larger grocery store. Oh, Maple Street Biscuit. Okay, cool. So that's that location. Apple butter is less sweet. Oh, I need to see this. Ooh, that's a lot of apple butter. But that does look really good. Is that like cheddar on the sandwich? So like cheddar and apple butter and I guess egg and bacon. That sounds really good. That would be really good with ham. Because if you do like applewood smoked ham or applewood smoked bacon, yeah, they don't skimp. With biscuits, you have to, well, not have to, but with biscuits, it's always best to have like a lot of liquid, because if you have any extra biscuit, then you can like sop it up and, you know, have some dipping for the biscuit. Okay, fried bologna. Oh, fried bologna sandwich. So good. That's near and dear to my nice southern heart deep down. That I love, uh, like the thick cut bologna. Like you go to the deli counter and you ask, cut that bologna as thick as you can get it. That way you still have like that texture. It just had the thought, but really thick cut bologna is like the burger version of a hot dog. Would that be correct? Does that make sense? Like my thought process, it's like a hot dog, but burger. Hot dog burger. That's a bologna sandwich, like thick cut bologna. That sounds good. But yeah, so I definitely want to do angel food cake, because that would be so delicious to have angel food cake with like maple syrup roasted strawberries. Because that just like light cake with like syrupy roasted strawberries. And then we'll do meringue cookies. I've never made a meringue out of aquafaba before. I've made meringue cookies tons of times because I love making meringues. So I'm definitely excited to do it out of something that's not egg whites. But then I know I'm talking up all these recipes. You'll have to tune in to see everything that happens. We're gonna do tons of fun stuff. Yeah, but then the like vegan chipotle chickpea enchiladas. I almost said quesadillas, and I'm like, no, that's not the word. Yeah, sounds super good. All right, it's been a minute or so. Let's check these biscuits. Yes. Yes. They look so good. Okay. Absolutely. I would love it if you shared my channel with people. I would definitely love that. I'm gonna switch the camera angle. That way you can see these biscuits in all their glory. There we go. All right. Where do I put the tray? There we go. And let me move this. There's our biscuits. Ah! There's our biscuits. Oh, they look so good. I'm super excited. I know you can't even tell. I mean, I can tell because I'm right here. It's this one. That's the mini. But look at that biscuity top. It looks so good. It's like nice and shiny from the egg wash. It's got that salt and the black pepper on there. They have risen a bit. You can see the texture that they have risen, and they're a good size for a sandwich. I am so super excited. These look so good. I'm just gonna move these back. Turn off our oven. All right. Hello. Oh, thank you. I'm so excited to try these biscuits. They look so good. But yeah. Does anybody have any questions about the process for making biscuits? Then, or even questions about, I mean, you could definitely add in cheese into these biscuits. I've done that with quite a few biscuit recipes that I think you would want to add in like a handful or so of like a shredded cheese if you wanted like a cheesy biscuit. You could do like roasted garlic. You could do a lot of things with a basic biscuit dough. Something that actually we were experimenting with at work is to do more biscuits. I really wanted to do roasted garlic and Parmesan biscuits, where like you roast garlic cloves until they're like black. Like you want to roast like whole garlic cloves until they're pretty much black, and then just like gently squish them up and chop them up in the dough. That way you get like a bit of garlic throughout the biscuit dough as you're mixing it, and it just sounds so delicious. But I think that's gonna be the end of today. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the end of it. I'll be posting photos of the finished product, but I will see you all next time.